I want to be a smart ass and say take the 24th pick.
Ooh,
but I don't know.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. I'm actually not sure about that.
I got to cover up the stories that happened in the offseason and try to deflect.
No, I don't think that's the reason. Man, that would be interesting. They're like, we traded up to number 1. And you're like, holy crap. And then that just takes everything over. I think they're going to get a good player. I was listening to Ross Tucker this morning, and I found it pretty interesting. This is the dude last year that told Sean and RJ right before, like the week of the draft, I think they need to take a linebacker, and I think they need to take Parsons. And then he was like, I don't think they should take an offensive lineman. Go get a playmaker. Use the first round for a playmaker instead of solidifying your offensive line. And that, to me, now, I know this is draft day, Kevin, which I'm pushing for draft day too. The movie. I've been pushing for it for a while. It's draft day.
How's that going?
You want to? We gotten some calls. So there's some things going on.
They should do Field of Dreams now for draft day too. A ghost then tells the Cleveland Browns who to take next.
I'm gonna stick with. I like that idea.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna stick with Jordan Davis. The Cowboys will make a move to go get Jordan Davis
from the 682. They need Jordan Davis.
I think they do too. But I think that that's my dream scenario move is to go there. But based on what when I asked Steven on Tuesday, Mike, what's up with your head over there? What are you doing over there?
Got my hat on.
Is everything okay? Is everything all right at home? What's happening?
Yeah. I think he has golf fever. And
I wish that was enough to explain this. I don't think it is.
When I asked Steven on Tuesday about the value of the defensive tackle position, he made it sound like we're fine there. He named off every single defensive tackle they have, which I was like, man, this is amazing. And then said, oh, yeah, and if we want our stuff to run, don't forget about Quentin Bonaha. Or whatever.
Bohanna.
Yeah, I know how to say it.
The other guy.
Yeah. No, that was Jerry.
That was Dante Fowler.
That was Jerry that said
Still
that.
Don't know, but I'm excited about that.
But I still want Jordan Davis because I think he's a freak that allows everybody on your defensive line and Micah to excel.
And it felt like he was kind of like, what are you even asking when we were talking about defensive tackle? Yeah. He's like, we put so much into that. And you're like, oh, cool.
But somebody said this the other day, and I can't remember who it was. And I think it was a fan text that came in and said it. The reason it's kind of boring for the Cowboys is the right pick is an offensive lineman, right? It's the right thing to do to go ahead and get the best available offensive lineman to protect Dak Prescott, to help with the run game, to do all those things. That's the right and safe and easy thing to do. The Cowboys, Jerry does not like safe. He's like, look, we went safe with Zach Martin. What's that gotten us other than a great player for the last 10 years? It's great that we have him, but has it won us a championship? Has it brought the spotlight? That's what Jerry wants.
Is Jordan Davis worth your second round pick? So Dane Brugler, for example, he's got Jordan Davis going at number 15 to the Eagles. So let's just suppose that he's going to go somewhere in that range, 14, 15, 16. Now, if he starts sliding down the board, we can wheel and deal even better. But to get up to pick 15, especially with somebody like the Eagles, it's going to cost you your second round pick. So then that's my question for you. And then that's my question for the Tolos is, are you willing to sacrifice second round pick for Jordan Davis, or are you hoping that he starts to tumble and maybe you can get a better deal?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
Okay.
I'm fine with it. I'll move. And if I'm going to screw the Eagles over at the same time, that's fine by me. Yeah, I like that idea.
Here's my issue. Because the Cowboys go on spring break during free agency and don't do it, I don't know if you can trade second round picks and even somewhat third round picks. And look, I'm all for trading up to get 2 first round picks. I know that that's not going to happen, but when you have the philosophy, we don't get free agents. We will not do it. We refuse to do it until people say, hey, nobody wanted that guy. I think he can play. That's how the Cowboys do free agency. Well, if you trade away your second and third round picks, which let's face it, if the Cowboys are ever going to be successful and go deep into the playoffs and possibly win another Super Bowl, don't they have to have second, third, and fourth and fifth round picks? 2 of them be Pro Bowlers and the other 2 be starters? Because if you don't do free agency, this is it. This is the only way the Cowboys can get good is the draft. So if you trade away second, third, fourth round picks just to move up and you lose one of those picks, how are we ever supposed to really be good?
All right, so you're not going to like this suggestion, but we asked the Tolos and the Twolos for what they think is going to happen, and we want to read it out. We'll have to tweak this one up just a little bit from the 210. The Cowboys will trade up to number 8 if Kayvon Thibodeau is there. Carolina needs draft capital. Dallas gets their war daddy. So Carolina is number 6. So if you're going to trade up to number 6, here's the deal. You can make it happen. And I actually think Carolina is very interested in trading down. I don't know if they want to trade down that far because they still want to pick up their quarterback, but they need other picks because then they'll pick again until the 4th round. So it would go one of a couple different ways. If you trade up with Carolina, you would give them pick 24 and next year's first. And that's probably the most viable avenue, even though Carolina needs draft capital this year. You would have to trade every other single pick you have in the draft to get up to that high to take Kayvon Thibodeau. And I don't envision the Cowboys being interested in that. Whether or not they would deal off their next year's number 1 pick, I don't know.
How far down would you trade? Would you trade out of the first round?
Yes. I know. Look,
No, I hear you.
Mike. And
Four
would you do
fifth-round
that
picks.
37? Would you trade 13 picks down just to pick up a third? Yesterday you proposed that.
I think I would, and here's the reason. And I understand, look, we're all haunted by the 2009 draft, right? I hope that you would come at this draft from a different perspective. In 2009, it felt like they went into it as the backup draft. They're like, we're so good. I would hope you would go into a different perspective. Here's why I like that. Because then you have a pick at the top of the 5th round. It's the 5th pick. And then you still have your pick in the 2nd round. Then you have a pick at the top of the 3rd round, the 4th pick. And then you still have your pick. I know giving up a first round, it hurts. It hurts a lot. But when you listen to Steven, he thinks that the depth of this draft is in the 2nd and 3rd round. And that's why I'm just curious. Even though Jerry said we're more likely to trade up than trade down, me personally, I think I would, because then you have 4 picks in the 2nd and 3rd round. But I get how that could not be popular.
I'm looking at Jimmy Kimsky's page, Kevin, and he also has Jordan Davis. He's a Philadelphia writer.
Okay.
He also
He's
has
got
Jordan
him at
Davis. He said if you stick and pick at 15 and 18, Jordan Davis, Jamison Williams, Chris Olave, Traylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, George Karlaftis, and Malik Willis. Names that we've heard the Cowboys associated with, too.
Except for Malik Willis.
And, well, why, Kevin? Why?
Because Steven told us we got the best quarterback.
We do?
We're doing fine there, man.
That's awesome.
Everything's going to be fine. Yeah.
We landed on the moon?
Plus, Tom Brady's going to be a free agent next year, so everything's going to be okay.
That's
but,
right.
Like, the first person he lists on that list, Jordan Davis. And this is a dude that, like, I've kept up with what he's done when it comes to Philadelphia's draft. He's pretty active.